Let's talk about North and South Korea row. And North Korea calls South Korea's president a prostitute and Barack Obama her pimp. North Korea says it's ready for a full-scale nuclear war and called South Korea's president a crafty prostitute with President Obama as her powerful pimp. Dr. Chudan, so we are back to the back and forth between the North and South Korean nations. Your thoughts on these comments?
My take on this is very simple. We all know that the Korean War has not ended. There was an armistice. An armistice doesn't mean that we have resolved the conflict. And since we haven't resolved the conflict, all parties should have made it possible to get the conflict resolved and the contents accepted. Unfortunately, desire to posture North Korea as an aggressor and a bad governance system and a monolithic system, all kinds of things against North Korea. And therefore, they needed to muscle up, show the world that they are not that hopeless. They were able to get their own nuclear weapons and whatnot. And all the time, such a thing was going on, instead of helping them to come together like Vietnam did. So the Cold War has also not ended there. But again, in anything that North Korea does, they will get the support from Russia and from China. Of late, China is at loggerheads with Japan and with Malaysia and with other Philippines especially around. America is supporting these groups of countries that I've mentioned instead of making it possible for some kind of amicable settlement to come on. And that is why the whole thing has been exacerbated and Koreans are showing muscle that they could incinerate the South. And the American also over there is making things worse.
And the comments come because President Obama visited the South for 2 days. Was it a bad move on the part of the United States to have visited South Korea when there was tension between the two Korean nations?
Well, if America knew this properly, then the best thing they would have done is not to escalate tensions. You know, Obama is visiting the area, and exercises have been held in the past with South Koreans, and there have been clashes between the North and the South. A boat was sunk. All these things are indications that any misstep can create a very bad situation, since we have labeled the North Koreans as who are ruling. So they can press the trigger. They have nuclear weapons. So American leadership within the South Seas over there, the China Sea around, I don't think it's the proper thing to do. When the Chinese warned about some of the islands, Americans sent a boat.
Unfortunately, we've lost Dr. Vladimir Chudan. But North Korea has said that it's ready for a full-scale nuclear war. Is this ego speaking, or we should take this seriously as the rest of the world? We'll try and raise Dr. Vladimir Chudan back over the telephone and find an answer to that question.